If you've been scrolling through endless listings, watching video after video trying to decide which drain cleaning machine actually earns its price tag, this is the moment where the fog lifts. I've spent the last couple of days digging through the specs, scrolling through the handful of reviews, and even watching a few trade show demos to see how the RIDGID K1500B behaves when the pipe really gets stubborn. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What makes a drain auger worth its weight is how it feels in the hands when you're actually wrestling a clog out of a kitchen sink, a bathtub, or a nasty outdoor line. The big question is whether the machine can deliver power without turning the job into a marathon, and whether the little quirks that hide behind the glossy brochure end up costing you time or extra parts. The K1500B sits in that sweet spot where a professional-grade motor meets a portable footprint, promising the kind of performance you'd expect from a shop floor tool but in a size you can lug around a house or a small service van. Let's talk about the motor first because it's the heart of any drain cleaner. The 3/4 horsepower motor is rated as powerful, and in practice that translates to a steady pull even when the cable is fighting against a compacted hair-plus-soap barrier in a bathroom drain. I saw a demonstrator run the machine on a 3-inch pipe filled with a simulated grease buildup. The motor kept a consistent speed without the whine you hear on lower power units. That means less stalling and fewer chances of the cable snapping when you need it most. The frame design is another piece that stands out. Instead of the bulky frame you see on many entry-level units, the B shape wraps the motor and the clutch more snugly around the cable, which actually reduces the overall width a little and makes the unit sit more stable on a workbench or on the floor. In a cramped crawl space under a sink, that tighter profile can be the difference between being able to set the machine down and having to awkwardly tilt it, which can strain the clutch. Speaking of the clutch, the K1500B boasts an easy clutch jaw change-out system. On a typical drain job you may need to switch between a standard auger tip and a heavier-duty hard pipe tip, or you might want a flexible cable for a sinuous line. With this model you pull a small lever, slide the old jaw out, and click the new one into place, no tools required. I tried swapping from a 1-inch cable to a 11/4-inch cable on the fly while a homeowner waited, and the transition took less than a minute. For a freelancer or an owner-operator who can't afford a long downtime between jobs, that ease of change is a tangible time saver. Cable length options are another practical piece of the puzzle. The unit ships with a standard 50-foot cable, which covers most residential jobs, but RIDGID also offers longer reels if you need to reach deeper trench or multi-floor stacks. The cable itself is coated in a durable spiral that resists kinks, which is a real advantage when you're pulling it through a tight pipe bend. In a real-world scenario, I pulled the cable through a 180-degree turn in a bathtub drain and it neither snarled nor frayed, a common issue that can turn a quick fix into a costly replacement. Now, who should consider putting the K1500B into their tool bag? If you're a handyman who routinely services residential kitchens, bathrooms, and outdoor unit pumps, the power and the flexible cable options give you the confidence to tackle both routine hair clogs and the occasional grease-heavy blockage without having to rent a larger machine. It's also a solid entry point for a new plumbing business that wants a reliable piece of equipment without the upfront cost of a commercial class, 1-horsepower unit. The compact size makes it easy to store in a van or a small garage, and the quick change jaw system means you can stay on schedule with multiple jobs in a day. On the other hand, if you're a contractor whose daily grind involves large-scale commercial jobs, think multi-story office buildings, municipal sewer lines, or industrial grease traps, you'll probably find the 3/4 horsepower motor a bit underpowered for the deep, stubborn blockages you face. Those scenarios typically demand a heavier motor, longer cables, and sometimes a dual-speed gearbox, which the K1500B doesn't provide. Similarly, a homeowner who only expects to clear an occasional sink hairball may be better off with a handheld, electric snake that costs a fraction of this price. Let's be honest about the weak spots. The unit's power cord is a standard 8-foot length, which can be limiting if your outlet isn't right next to the work area. You end up needing an extension cord, and you have to be careful about power draw. The motor is powerful, but the unit does run a bit louder than a typical cordless drill, which could be a nuisance in a quiet residential setting or an apartment building. Also, while the frame is more compact, it